Yeah, when I saw the gameplay trailer, I thought it was interesting. So we knew for sure that Luke was going to be in the game, right? Like Capcom was already talking about how Luke plays a big part in the future of Street Fighter. So I guess depending on how that story arc is going to be, it's going to be pretty interesting. But like I was pretty hyped for it, honestly.
I'd say I was very, very pleased with what they had to offer, especially because a lot of the mechanics that we thought were going to speculate, they just dropped it at the same time the trailer dropped. So there's no room for guesswork needed. Whatever we figured, whatever mechanics that were going to be in the game, were there.
I wasn't honestly expecting that much. I thought for the next couple months we'd just be getting just Ryu and Luke, like the first reveal trailer was.
My reaction was that this game is a lot closer to done than I was expecting. My initial thoughts when they teased the logo a couple months ago was that we had probably 2 years, like maybe 1.5 before the game came out. I'm thinking it'll be early 2023, like a lot earlier, sooner rather than later.
I wasn't feeling that first stage they showed, so they showed that cherry blossom stage in that trailer. I'd actually made me a lot more excited for the game. I thought it looked a lot better.
Bits of, I'd say, alpha, but definitely bits of 3 and 4, and to some extent 5, all in this game, and that's why I feel this could be the greatest Street Fighter yet.
I did like the hip-hop direction. They've really gone, they really went for it. It's not just 1 or 2 things. Even the stuff like the Kush counters off of the new focus attack move. When you hit that and they do a big splash of paint, the paint then falls on the ground, and it looks great. It looks amazing. I like the whole thing. But they brought out some different theme for Chun, and it kind of sounds like some of the old Third Strike music, that old kind of techno music. And I thought that sounded like amazing, and I loved all that stuff. So I'm literally looking forward to it.
I think it's gonna be super cool. It looks modern enough. It's got a really sweet art style. I love the whole like graffiti-esque style that they're really leaning into with the more modern graphics from the Unreal Engine 2. I think it's gonna be sick. I'm super excited. Yeah.
I think the artistic direction they're taking is incredible because I've heard a lot of complaints that's what Street Fighter V and maybe Street Fighter 4 lacked. But if you think about like Third Strike, which is kind of like the coolest Street Fighter, that's one of the things people love about it is that like hip hop feel to it, and I think it gives it like a really timeless sort of vibe. Like it's always going to be cool. And they put out that like that Street Fighter 6 song, which I wasn't really feeling, but at least they're trying. At least they're trying to like to play up, I guess, the street aspect. I think it's a good move.
I'm a little worried, just a bit, about the art direction. I like the really colorful style of Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 4, and I don't think they went realistic or anything like that. But like the supers, they zone out and zoom in on it, like they cut all the colors like NRS style. They're not NRS Mortal Kombat things. They did release that Guile stage where everything looks amazing in bright colors. And if there's more stuff like that, I think I'd like it a lot more. But like the Dark Alley or even the Cherry Blossoms, as good as that looked, the stage was just washed out. I hope it looks better.
The whole like open world exploration thing, I think that's going to be a really cool element because especially with most fighting games too, like whenever I think of a fighting game that's modern right now, I think of something like Guilty Gear, or I think of something like Dragon Ball, or even just Street Fighter V, right? Where you don't have a lot of exploration in an open world sort of setting, because that's how fighting games kind of lend themselves. They lend themselves to the more competitive people that just want to get straight into the heat of battle. But I think that having something more of a fleshed out world tour mode, like what we were talking about, right? Or like, I think that's going to be really cool and be able to attract a whole lot newer audience too. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, one of my favorite games, tried to do that with their RPG mode, but didn't do it really successfully. Had a whole bunch of manual turns. You were still basically playing the good old 2D fighter. I think it's going to be super cool, honestly. I think it's a good addition.
For sure, they confirmed for the World Tour that the custom character is the guy in the hoodie. They showed some other screenshots of other custom characters fighting each other, including like a completely different guy, looked like a businessman. So I'm pretty sure that guy in the hoodie is going to be your own created character. You run around the city talking to all the actual established characters. So I think Luke will be in there, but you're going to have your own guy. And honestly, it's not entirely the same, but I always liked in Soul Calibur when you got to build up your own guy and go out and do like the tower modes, the challenge modes. I thought it kind of reminded me of that, and I'm really hoping it is like that. So I'm excited about that for sure.
So I think World Tour mode is really cool for like the casual audience and people that aren't necessarily interested in grinding it out in training mode. I don't think I'll spend a lot of time, if any. I would say my only concern is I hope that character unlocks are not linked to World Tour mode and sort of like the way you unlock characters in Smash where you have to like play the story mode. I'm hoping that it's fun for the casuals who don't want to, go to tournaments and stuff. but that it doesn't interfere with any of the competitive aspects of the game.
How World Tour is going to be, I feel that it's going to be really effective for those that are looking to get into Street Fighter in a story perspective. Hopefully the gameplay works out, aside from the main core combat gameplay. But for those that aren't as competitive, I feel that World Tour has a chance to be really, really big for those that are just casually playing around, liking the stories of the characters and whatnot. I'm hoping they don't do Ken dirty.
My theory is that Sean is the new Ken, because Ken is like fallen off, right? And Sean is Ken's disciple. So my theory is that Sean is going to come in with all of Ken's moves.
He's a successful businessman. He has a loving family. I don't want to see what the leaks have for him come to fruition. They took my apes for you. They took my apes.
I mean, I liked a lot of the updated designs. It's cool to see that stuff. DJ and even Ed coming back, I wasn't expecting him to come back. It's cool. He was on that leaked sheet. Out of the new designs, the one they showed on the trailer just for a second, there's going to be Kimberly is going to be like a ninja-like guy. And I thought she looked really cool. As new characters look like that, I think it's great. And there's just a French Abel named Mimi or Marin or something. She has to be a new Abel, and that got me excited because I was never very good at it, but I liked that character there.
Yo, Jamie's my main. I'm gonna tell you straight up, looks so dope. I'm beyond excited to play him, and it's like my first Street Fighter game ever that I'm planning on playing, just because I think it looks so sick. I saw that State of Play trailer, and I was like, yeah, that's my main right away. And it's been a long time since I felt that way.
I'm most interested in Ryu. I'm kind of traumatized by Luke, just from Street Fighter V, so even if he's cool in 6, I don't want to play him. Chun-Li's never really been like a huge favorite of mine. She's cool, but like I just don't think that doesn't fit my playstyle.
Akuma coming back, it's Akuma. You really think he's not going to show up in a Street Fighter game? Rashid, I was pleasantly surprised to see him come back for 6. I'm hoping that turns out to be the case.
Oh, yes, the Guile trailer. Yeah, I did see, that was so cool. Like, I think that, oh no. Oh, Guile looks so sweet. I saw him too, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm just Team America all the way too, man. Like, you got the hair thing back. He's got this whole, like, stopwatch thing that he starts and stops whenever the game starts and ends. Yo, so tight. So tight. Looks fun.
It looks like he has a lot of target combos now. Like, he can do stand strong into back fierce. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe because projectiles are going to be weaker, they're trying to give him stronger target combos or, like, stronger neutral, like, better cancel opportunities.
Guile looks sick. Especially, it was a good trailer in the sense that they showed off, was it the drive rush combos after like a stray hit? You saw him dash cancel into a proper combo. I felt that was good.
I just want to play it. All those new mechanics, I can't quite wrap my head around it. The drive bar itself is just completely new for Street Fighter. It's going to be a whole management system, and I can't even really think how the flow is going to be without touching it. So I'm reserving judgment there. I just really want to see a demo.
I'm really interested in how Fireballs work in 6 because they have some sort of parry mechanic, and it refills your drive gauge from successful parries off of what I've heard. If that works on Fireballs, then you can't really zone people because you're just going to be giving them drive. I don't like parry and third strike, just as like at a high level, it kind of makes the game a little bit degenerate. I don't like the fact that projectile zoning is so weak because you can just parry the projectile. It kind of seems like they took legacy mechanics from each of their games that people like. Like they have like something that looks like focus attack dash cancel and like V reversal and V triggers with the supers. And so I'm hoping they learn from all of their past mistakes, put them in this game, and they all work together.
I like the direction they're going for with it. Defensively is interesting because if you block too many times, it's not bulletproof, right? It's not foolproof. It drains a little bit of drive gauge. So it incentivizes not being defensive all the time because you lose out on the resources that you need to make a comeback. As someone who's played MK11 a bit, I'm familiar with the whole cooldown gauge that they have going for, but I feel it's more dynamic compared to 11 because getting in hits or getting hit, I believe, it fills up the gauge as well. So it leads to more dynamic gameplay as a result.